I'm Rick Dale with American Restorations on the History Channel. How I got started was I was in construction. The construction company was getting bad in 1983, so I had to be able to make a living doing something. So what I did was I had an old Coke machine in the backyard, and as a kid, I restored stuff, painted stuff, did stuff. So somebody told me that people in Southern California at the swap meet were buying Coke machines. They were buying these old things, and you'd fix them up and they'd buy them. So I took this old Coke machine that was in my backyard and I restored it, and I had to make the house payment. So I took it down to California, I set it up. I had one Coke machine in a 20 by 20 space, a swap meet, and I found one guy from Japan that actually loved it and wanted it more. So he bought it, and that's how I got started.
You see, I have a serious problem.
Yeah, you do. You got a lot of people here all wanting rum.
It's a good problem, but it's a serious problem. And I've always thought about if I had some way to get the liquor quicker.
As far as an expert, I think that's just something they came across with the Pawn Stars as being an expert. Although one time I was restoring Coke machines, and Coca-Cola themselves, corporate, sent me a letter. And this was probably 5 years into what I was doing, so back in the early 90s. And they sent me a letter saying, stop what you're doing. You're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to restore machines or anything. And when they sent me an archivist out, and this guy was the head of, his name is Phil Mooney, and he's still there. And they sent him out, and we had dinner. I talked to him, I showed him what I did, and he became very interested that we were restoring the old stuff. He was about that, about the archives, and wanted to make sure that it was done correctly. So to be able to have that person come out, and I satisfied him, he said, hey, I want you to start restoring stuff for my museums. I guess at that time I definitely was an expert as far as Coke machines. Kelly, my wife, will tell me that I'm a pack rat, but it's only because I need parts. I don't collect. I would take stuff, and it's basically for sale. I'll go and I'll find something and I'll restore it and I'll sell it. I don't have a collectible whatsoever.
We got this project coming up. It's a refrigerator, right?
Right.
And we're gonna call it the Rumerator, but it's for Sammy Hagar, and it's gonna hold rum.
The Red Rocker?
Yeah, the Red Rocker, right. It's got to do a lot of things. It's got to dispense rum.
There's no shortage of items coming in. There's always something. There's always different. It's called American Restorations, but there's a lot of stuff I restore all over the world. So there's plenty of stuff coming in. I don't think we could actually keep up with all the stuff. Some of the stuff gets big. If I had a bunch of little small things that came in that had a really good meaning, it'd be great, but there's a lot of big things that take months and months and months, 6-8 months to build, and that's the time that it takes is incredible. You see an episode that takes you a half an hour to watch, it took 3-4 months to build. So you got to remember, we're working and we're filming at the same time, and that's a ton of work. It's a ton of work.
Here we go, Bradley. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, whoa! Come on, look at this thing.
Check it out.
Oh, tiki's. Oh, man. No. Oh, Rick, you nailed this thing to the ground. Oh.
Check it out. Check the whole
Wow.
thing out.
Look at the tiki's. Oh, this thing is gorgeous. Wow. I need a dozen now.
That's a good sign.
Look at this.